I'm going to be removing the centre console wood trim from this SL here, which will allow you access to quite a few things. The command unit, the screen, the climate control controller, this window switch, the mirror switch and the suspension switch here, and the roof operating switch, which are all kind of connected to this trim. Now this is a 2002, so you will find up to about 2004 the wood trim goes around at the top. Now of course, if you're going to have older vehicles, the command units were different, so they had different trims, but the process is basically the same. Okay, so first things first is to remove some pieces of this vinyl leather trim, and we're going to remove this bit here and move your seat back as far as you can, lower it lower the bolster as far as you can, and then you just basically pull it off. Put your hand under here and this just pulls off. It's just clipped on. Give it a little tug gently and it comes off in the middle. It is connected at the bottom here. The seat can be a bit of a pain, but you've got some clips there, and then at the top here, sorry, the steering wheel's in the way, so you just keep on prising and out it comes. And it looks like there's these metal pins which secure this on. Now you take off the leather trim on the other side as well, and on both sides you get this view where you have some Torx screw, and some are big and some are small, and some of them hold in the wooden trim, and there's a couple of ones you've got to be careful with. They're quite small. You've got this one under here, this one here, this one here, and they on both sides. If you remove them, that's the start. Now I'm going to just basically remove them all, okay, because I'm going to take off a lot more. Now if you get this wrong and leave one in and then pull up the wooden trim, you will break one of the tabs, and they are so fragile and it's such a pain that when they are broken to actually put it back in without it wobbling. So I basically remove all of these just to be safe but sure. Okay, so both sides I've removed all the screws. Don't have to remove all of them. These bigger ones are if you wanted to remove the dash, okay, the whole dash which comes out into the center, but it's these smaller ones. If you can get them smaller ones out, as we said, then you are ready to lift it out. But first, the gear stick. You need to have it out of park. If it's in park, the thing will not come off. So I've left mine in drive or neutral, and there's no power at all to this vehicle. So make sure if you are going to remove the power that you do put it into reverse or neutral drive first, because you will not be able to if there is no power to the vehicle. And it's a real pain if you've already disconnected loads of electrical components and it's stuck in park, then you are a bit stuffed. So to remove the gear stick, just prise up here, just hold in a bit of plastic really, catches, lift that up. Okay, I'm going to leave mine in neutral. Now how do you remove the gear gaiter? You have this black thing here that will twist. You twist it, turn it anti-clockwise, and okay, this one's just fallen off, it shouldn't have done. Sometimes they stay on, and now you should be able to grip the top and pull it off. There it goes. And there you have it. I'm going to remove this as well. And now you have access to underneath if you need it. So open up the center compartment locker. Now underneath here you need to gently, and I mean gently, lift this. Now with your fingers it's not going to work. You're going to need some form of plastic tool just to prise it up slightly. If you use a metal screwdriver, you are really risking causing some small cracks, and when this thing cracks, this veneer, when this cracks, it will spread and it is a nightmare. You can't repair it, you're gonna have to replace the whole lot. Okay, so I have this plastic trim here. Now be ever so careful. Okay, it might not want to go under. Don't force it too much, just give it a little bit of persuasion. There you go, you see that? It's just gone under at the corner, and now it will just gently raise slightly, and now the whole thing is just rising, and I can wiggle it from here. Now there are some metal clamps around here somewhere where it's a push fit, so I am just going to gently close the ashtray. I'm going to gently kind of give this a bit of a lift. There you go, a bit of a lift, a slow little pull, and you can see now it's a bit loose here. It's just now connected in the corner. So, oh, one-handed is so hard to do this, sorry. Change hands. This just needs pushing out, so I'm going to put my fingers under here and see if I can just wiggle it a bit. Sorry, I'm just trying to do this one-handed again. For the camera, I'm going to use a piece of plastic instead. Get this trim. Obviously you don't want to damage the vinyl leather. Again, I am being very careful not to scratch anything. It will come off. Take your time, don't damage any of this. These are expensive parts to replace. Sorry, I had to stop the video because there's no way I could do it one-handed. I had to be two. I didn't want to put too much force on it with one hand in case it broke, so it just pops out. There it is. Everything is loose. Now how do you remove it? Well, you've still got some parts connected. You've got the back end of the climate controller, which is sticking underneath here. So this needs to kind of wiggle outwards this way and then lift over. Now there will be some connectors on here. You will have some wiring plugs to this module. You will have some wiring plugs to the aircon controller. The ashtray is basically just connected as well, and that will come out as one unit. So again, one-handed, I'm going to try and do this. This is again quite awkward. I'm trying to wiggle this. Again, it's not going to come out easily one-handed. Okay, so bit of success, it's pulled out. Now do be careful not to knock your screen. Okay, these screens easily scratched, and again a very expensive piece of kit to replace. Now you can see here there's all sorts of plugs at the back that's been stretched, so now it needs to be get underneath while you're holding this and start unplugging these to make it easier. Okay, so I've unplugged the climate controller, which has 3 plugs there, 2 big ones and the small one there. I've also pulled out the 12-volt lighter socket, and it now enables me just to hold this in the air, and you know, you can see you've got a couple of terminals here to remove. Be gentle pulling these out. And there we have it, it's removed. Okay, to show you what's underneath these things, you have at the rear, you've got various screws everywhere, all little Torx things, Torx screws. If you just remove all of them, everything will drop out. Okay, This module here for the switch controller is connected to the buttons in the middle. Pull that out. Now what will stay in are these buttons here, but everything else will drop out.